Next here on the show, Britain's shoplifters are becoming more brazen and aggressive, it seems. New statistics from Co-op show attacks on their staff have risen by more than a third in the last year. New terrifying CCTV footage shows the moment a Machete wielding gang raided a Co-op in West Yorkshire. 3 masked men clad in black can be seen leaping over the counter, waving the weapons around and grabbing cigarettes and vapes. Joining me now to discuss this, former Detective Chief Inspector and head of the Central Forensic Image Team at the Metropolitan Police, Mike Neville. Thank you very much for making time for this. And look, pretty shocking pictures, but do they shock you at all, Mike?
Shocking pictures.
They don't shock me at all because I've seen many things like this before. But what shocks me is the police still don't have a national database of images. As far back as 2015, I had the world's first conviction for pattern recognition. If you look at that, footage, one of the gang has got a very distinctive mark on his tracksuit, which could help to identify that person. So I consistently say to the police, look, I can help you improve the level of image identifications, but they just blunder on, not using modern technology. And the Co-op, as we can see, have got high quality CCTV. They use a company called FaceWatch, which has facial recognition, so the offenders show their face, they can be quickly identified. But the police do not use images in the same way that they use DNA and fingerprints, where there's a national database. And this really needs to be sorted out and sorted out quickly.
What we're talking about here a lot as well is the fixes for it, or catching them, clear CCTV, facial recognition, that type of thing. But what about the crimes themselves? Do you feel like criminals, particularly shoplifters, are becoming more brazen, and why?
Well, they are becoming more brazen because, one, they know you've got a bizarrely conservative government who says you don't go to prison for shoplifting, so there's hardly any penalty. People know that if they get a fine, they don't really have to pay it. I was speaking to a prolific shoplifter about a month ago, speaking about his crimes, and he admitted that he would do 100 more than he was ever caught for. And so it's a really an easy thing to do. You can make a lot of profit. But the trouble is now, of course, is that the offenders know that the police only attend a few incidents, about 20% of incidents, and so they're very likely to get away with this kind of crime, and they're not going to get sent to prison. And so they feel entitled to shoplift. And what happens then, if somebody stops them, they become violent towards the staff or the security guard, and it then becomes a robbery. So the lack of action by the police, and then the courts not sentencing them to jail, results in shoplifters feeling they're entitled to steal and they're entitled to attack staff.
And the Co-op actually saying within their report on this that police failed to attend 79% of incidents when reported. Why is that?
Well, the police will say they're overstretched, but what the public will say is that we constantly see the police doing dancing the Macarena or skateboarding with Extinction Rebellion. And so they need to stop doing that. Also, they need to prioritise. The commissioner in London, he looked at how many mental health issues the police were dealing with and put a stop to some of those. So the police really need to look at what is their priority, and their priority should be preventing and detecting crime, not other things. Mental health issues should be handed back to the NHS. Woke, that should be forgotten. Just focus on making communities safer.